Tomorrow does not exist, at least not in the way that you think it does. It's not tangible. One of the greatest misconceptions plaguing mankind is the thought that life is linear. There is nothing linear about life. The future is not a destination. The future is not a geographical construct. In fact, my personal definition for the future is a series of events that encapsulate the maturation of purpose. This means while you think the future is a function of time, the reality is that the future is a function of happenings. In the way Chronos is designed, there is a collapsing of the past and the future into the present. The past is a collection of photos that you've taken. The future is an empty album waiting to be filled up. The present is the camera. No matter how long you wait without using the camera, that photo album remains empty. But at the instant of you using the camera, the album gets filled up. So, seeing that the present is all that we are permitted to lay hold of, how well are you utilizing it? How effectively are you using that camera? Because the future that you are postponing things to does not exist in the way that you think it does. This life's journey is about navigating the ever-changing landscape. A man on a moving train who is going to use the bathroom at the back is walking to the back, but the reality is he is moving forward. The only thing accessible to us is the present. So that idea, that content, that phone call, that project starts now. The present is all we have. There is an art to staying ahead of the curve. What goes into winning a race for an athlete is way deeper than we think we know. You know, I found out that the best athletes don't actually wait to hear the whistle before they start running. They anticipate it. They study the rhythm, they study the body language, they study the environment, and then they start moving just before the whistle blows. It's why sometimes they have false starts. If they wait to hear the whistle before they start running, they'll react too late. And that split-second anticipation can be the difference between winning and losing a race. You know, I also found out that a lot of the musicians who play in an orchestra don't entirely rely on the conductor's signal. The best musicians in an orchestra feel for the tempo of the music. They internalize the rhythm and then anticipate their part before it's time to play. 99 times out of 100, there will be a difference in the result of a student who starts studying way before the announcement of the exam date and the student who waits until the announcement of the exam dates before studying. 4 keys to staying ahead of the curve. 1. Embrace lifelong learning. 2. Study your industry trend. 3. Build a future-oriented mindset. Let your long-term thinking influence your short-term decisions. 4. Trust your instinct. Again, I'm reminded of the saying, if you heard it on the news, you heard it too late. It is important that we properly examine the multiplying effect of whatever energy we put out, especially when you take into context the reality of our current economic dispensation. It is one thing to see the situation as hopeless, which is a problematic perspective to have in the first place. It is another thing, however, to infect other people with this viewpoint. You can excuse it under the guise of sharing your perspective or airing your views, and that's okay. But if you consider the fact that somebody is likely to be more depressed, more dejected, or more hopeless as a result of what you're about to say, then you might want to apply a bit more tact, even while conveying the harsh reality of our living experience. I treat these topics the same way I treat music. If I have my ears plugged, I can listen to whatever I like. But if I have to plug my phone to the speaker for my friends and those around me to listen, then I have to edit my playlist. I have to play the songs that not only suggest that I have impeccable music taste, but I also have to curate songs that I think that they might enjoy. The kind of songs that can make them feel good. I believe we should treat our opinions that same way before sharing. Edit your thoughts the same way you would edit your playlist before sharing. Let people walk away from conversations with you feeling inspired and ready to take on anything. The term brutal honesty is very relative. Again, I'm reminded of this Colin Powell quote: optimism is a force multiplier.